Jerusalem, the heart of history, a city where prophets walked and faiths collided. But before it became the holy land of three great religions, before the grand temples and sacred mosques, there was a man who started it all: Abraham. A man known as the father of Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. Who was Abraham? Why did he leave his homeland? How is he connected to Jerusalem, Makkah, and Canaan? And who were the people living in this land before him? Let's begin the journey. Abraham, or Ibrahim alayhis salam in Islam, was born in the city of Ur in Mesopotamia, modern-day Iraq, around 2000 BCE. But he was different. Unlike his people who worshipped many gods, Abraham believed in only one true God. Jewish and Christian tradition, as found in the Torah and Bible, says God called Abraham and made a covenant with him, promising that his descendants would inherit the land of Canaan, which would later become Palestine and Israel. Islamic tradition, as recorded in the Quran, tells us that Abraham was chosen as a prophet to call people to the worship of one God, Allah, and reject idol worship. One day, Abraham received a command from God: "Leave your homeland, your family, and go to the land I will show you." So, he left with his wife Sarah, his nephew Lot, and a few followers. After a long journey, they arrived in Canaan, a land already inhabited by various groups: the Canaanites, a Semitic people, the Jebusites, who lived in ancient Jerusalem, and the Hittites, Amorites, and Perizzites. Canaan was a land of trade, with small city-states ruled by local kings. According to Genesis 13, Abraham and Lot grew so wealthy that their herdsmen argued over land. Abraham, showing kindness, let Lot choose first. Lot picked the fertile Jordan Valley, while Abraham stayed in Canaan. At this time, Jerusalem was not yet a grand city. It was a small settlement called Salem or Jebus, ruled by the Jebusites, a Canaanite tribe. The first walls of Jerusalem were built around 3000 BCE. The city was located on a hill, making it easy to defend. The Bible mentions a mysterious priest-king named Melchizedek, who ruled Salem and blessed Abraham. Was Jerusalem already sacred at this time? We don't know for sure. But soon, it would become the center of history. God made a promise to Abraham: "Your descendants will be as many as the stars in the sky." Abraham's family was central to God's plan. But Abraham and Sarah were old and they had no children, so Sarah gave her servant Hagar to Abraham, and they had a son, Ishmael, or Ismail in Islam. Later, Sarah gave birth to another son at her old age, Isaac, or Ishaq in Islam. In Jewish and Christian view, God tested Abraham by asking him to sacrifice Isaac, as told in Genesis chapter 22. In Islamic view, it was Ishmael, as mentioned in Quran chapter 37, verses 101 to 107. In Judaism and Christianity, Isaac is the son through whom the covenant continues. In Islam, Ishmael was also blessed and his descendants became the famous Quraysh tribe of Makkah, in which the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was born. There are many tales that Abraham had many children after that, but these two sons are prominent. Abraham is a unifying figure, yet viewed differently. In Judaism, he is the father of the covenant and ancestor of the Jews. In Christianity, he is a model of faith, as mentioned in Romans chapter 4, and the forefather of Jesus. In Islam, he is Khalilullah, the friend of God, builder of the Kaaba, and father of the covenant. Islamic tradition says that Abraham and Ishmael traveled to Makkah, where they built the Kaaba, the first house of worship dedicated to one God. This became the holiest site in Islam, and millions of Muslims pray toward it every day. But what about Jerusalem? Did Abraham build anything in Jerusalem? Did he pray there? Islamic tradition suggests that Abraham may have visited and prayed in Jerusalem, but there is no clear historical evidence that he built anything there. Isaac had twin sons, Jacob and Esau. Jacob, whose name means supplanter, later became a prime figure. Jacob, known as Yaqub in Islam, played a key role in history. One night, Jacob had a dream of a ladder reaching to heaven, and God blessed him. In the Torah and Bible, God gave him a new name, Israel, meaning one who struggles with God. In Islam, Yaqub was a prophet who guided the Israelites, or Banu Israel. Jacob had 12 sons, and their descendants became the 12 tribes of Israel. In the Quran, they are called Bani Israel, meaning descendants of Israel. In modern days, they are known as Jews. Jacob's 12 sons became the Israelites, the ancestors of the Jewish people. One of them was Joseph, or Yusuf, who brought the Israelites to Egypt, where they would become slaves, leading to the story of Moses and the Exodus. this story is another epic tale. Jerusalem is one of the oldest cities in the world. During Jacob's time, Jerusalem was still ruled by the Jebusites. Before King David, it was a Jebusite city called Jebus. Jerusalem is sacred to all three faiths. In Judaism, it is home to the Temple Mount and the Western Wall. In Christianity, it is the site of Jesus' crucifixion and resurrection. In Islam, it is where the Al-Aqsa Mosque stands, and it is significant for the Prophet's night journey. So, what does history say? The earliest settlements in Jerusalem date back to 3000 BCE. The first city walls were built around 1800 BCE. There is no archaeological evidence that Abraham, Isaac, or Jacob built any structure in Jerusalem, but later the Israelites, their descendants, would return, and Jerusalem would become their holy city. Abraham's journey from Mesopotamia to Canaan, from Makkah to Jerusalem, shaped the world. His faith, his family, and his descendants would become the foundation of Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. And Jerusalem? It was still a small city, but soon it would become the center of history, war, and faith. In the next episode, we will explore Joseph or Yusuf's story, how the Israelites went to Egypt, and how they lived there. Stay tuned and follow this page, subscribe to our channel for more.